center of what we started out doing when we were starting calculus. Write an equation for a line tangent. You're going to see this come up time and time and time again. And we want to find the equation for a line tangent to the curve at x is equal to 0. If I want an equation for a line, I need two things. I need a point, and I need slope. What is the x value of my point?
0.
0. How do I find the y value of my point? Plug it in, and I get 0 over 2, which is 0. So it turns out that this is a line that travels right through the origin. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, how do we find slope? We've learned a lot of ways. We learned by looking at limit as like q approaches p, right? We looked at f of a plus h minus f of a over h. We looked at f of x plus h minus f of x over h. It's all the same thing. We're finding the derivative every time we do that. So whenever it says now to write an equation for line tangent, the slope of the tangent line is always just the derivative. And we've learned how to take derivatives, haven't we? We know how to use the power rule, and we know how to use the quotient rule. We know how to use the product rule. What rule do you think we use here? Quotient rule. So let us use the quotient rule. F prime of x is equal to, I take the derivative of the top, which is 4, times the bottom left alone. X cubed minus x plus 2. Minus the derivative of the bottom, which is
3x
times the top. And that all sits over now, pause. Do the directions say, find the derivative and write it in a nice little factored form? Does it say simplify it to a nice expression? It just says find the slope. So if this is the derivative, all I have to do to find the slope, I don't have to distribute, factor, anything like that. All I got to do is just plug in 0 for x. That's it. So, well, when I get to that final test, people are all of a sudden making up a bunch of voodoo hoodoo math at that point, and you know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is just plug in 0, and that's going to give you your value. Watch what happens if you plug in 0. You get 4 times what? 2. Hey, Danny.
There she is. 8 minutes.
Minus negative 1 times 0. All over 2 squared, which is 4. So look at what you get. In the top, you get 8, and in the bottom, you get 4. So therefore, the slope is 2. That's it.
What about the minus and negative 1? So won't that be a plus 1?
Because 0 times negative 1 is 0. Thanks for asking. Therefore, my equation is y is equal to 2x. Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did like that. That was enjoyable.
Alrighty.
That was enjoyable.
It wasn't trying.
Quite divine.
Quite divine. Yes, you are.
They're gonna put you on.
Oh, I'm gonna get
Put me in,
FOMO.
All right, so here we've got the slope and we've got the point. We know the x value is 0. If we plug in 0 to find the y value, notice as we plug in 0, all these x's just go away. You're left with 3. If we plug in 0 here, you're left with 1. So it's 3 times 1, which is?
3.
So isn't it nice that your teacher gave you the value 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice. All right, so now I got to find the slope. We find the slope by taking the derivative. When in doubt in calculus, just take a derivative. Okay? Usually produces something positive for us. I have f prime of x is equal to, now, some people would like to actually multiply this all out. We don't need to do that. We could just use the product rule. What is the derivative of that first part?
4x
Yeah. Yeah. Are we done?
No.
No. Then you got plus. Now we got the derivative of x squared minus x plus 1, which is
2x
Just one x one minus x four. X cubed.
Well. Sorry.
Jacob, should I multiply these all out?
No.
No.
But wouldn't it look nice and pretty in the end?
Too much work.
Too much work. Instead, what should I just do? Plug in 0.
Yes.
And when I plug in 0, I get negative 6 times 1 plus negative 1 times 3. So that'll be a negative 6 plus negative 3, which is negative 9. That's our slope. Our equation for our line is going to be y equals negative 9x plus 3. How did I know I could just write it like that, not use point slope form?
Oh.
You're given the y-intercept right there, right? So you got the y-intercept and you got the slope done. So when you get that kind of a problem on the test, don't make it more challenging than what it has to be, okay?
Right.
We all good? All right, our last example. Use the graphs below to determine the following derivatives. I have the graph of f of x, I have the graph of g of x. It's very clear in the standards for AP Calculus that we need to look at derivatives from a graphical standpoint, as well as from a table, as well as from an analytical viewpoint. You guys have done all that. This is simple. I just do f prime of 3 plus g prime of 3. And the derivative means the slope of the function at that spot. So if I go over to 3, which is right here, okay, what is the slope of g at that spot? Negative 1? Yeah. So that's negative 1. And then what's the slope of f? I think it looks like we could actually calculate it. Here, I'm down at negative 2, and if I go over 1, I go up 2 units. So I think everybody agrees 2? Yeah. So I've got 2 plus negative 1, which is negative, which is positive 1. Now I'm going to look at g minus f of prime of 3. So that would be g prime of 3 minus f prime of 3. We've already calculated the derivative at 3 for g, and that was negative 1. And we calculated the derivative for f at 3, and that was 2. And so I get negative 3. Any confusion for anybody there? Product rule is different. I cannot just say that I'm going to do g prime of 3 times f prime of 3. That does not work. And for that, I give you 0 points. We have to use the product rule instead. And so we do g prime of 3 times f of 3 minus f prime of 3 times g of 3. I'm sorry, plus, thank you. I've already calculated g prime of 3 a few times. It is negative 1. Times, I've not calculated f of 3. What is the height of f at 3?
0.
It is 0. Isn't it nice when we get values of 0?
Oh, yeah.
Plus, I've already calculated f prime of 3. We've decided that that was 2. What is g of 3? We haven't calculated that yet. 4. Yeah, I would say it's 4. I would say at 1, it's 1, at 2, it's 5, and at 3, it's 4. I know that this graph is tougher to see. I'll make sure if I give you a question like that, test that it's plain what it is, okay? So I've got a value of 4, so we get 8 as our answer. See if you do part D on your own. Try D on your own. Set up that quotient rule. Danny, I just want you to know I'm so proud of you for fighting through this morning and almost making it to school on time.
I was so close, and then my mom had me like breakfast, and I was like, really, I'm right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually why I was late, because I was eating. Then I had to have tea, and then it was,
I'm gonna tell your mother to stop eating you.
chili. Right. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I'm sure you did.
Did you cry?
So would you like to make a trip with me for managers?
Sorry, I didn't get it right away. I'll see if I have to go.
2 times 4. Oh, because I did.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I did 1.0.
Oh, I put down the wrong.
So since F is on top, that's what you take the derivative of first. I got 2 times 4. And then on the bottom, I got 4 squared. Is that what you guys got? So I get a total of 8 over 16, which is 1/2 is your derivative. I think it's important to note that just a couple months ago, you guys didn't know a bit of calculus, did you?
Nope.
What I love about calculus and different math courses is that it's easy to look a week later, a month later, and recognize how much you've learned. And this is one good example. The quotient rule is something you never understood before, and now you got it locked in. So, you guys ready to get an A on this test?
Yeah.
Because I'll be handing out A's next Wednesday.
That's so nice of you.
Yeah. When are you guys going to study over the course of the next 4 days?
The weekend.
Tuesday.
Weekend? When on the weekend?
Probably
Saturday.
Saturday night, Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Mornings? You gotta work Saturday afternoon, evening?
No, I actually have this weekend off.
Okay, good for you.
Free.
Viv, when are you gonna study?
Probably this weekend.
This weekend? Haley, when are you gonna study?
This weekend.
Okay, so you guys use the time this weekend, it's not Monday or Tuesday? You guys got stuff going on Monday and Tuesday, what do you got going on Tuesday?
I was still meet on Tuesday.
Swim meet?
Wait, no, I don't.
You guys got tennis Tuesday?
Tennis Thursday.
Okay, so that doesn't interfere with that, then I guess you guys got some time. Cross country next week, Thursday, Wednesday, isn't it? I can't remember why. This is that weird Mankato East meet. I thought they ran on a Wednesday night.
I thought it was Austin.
I thought they weren't allowed to have sports on Wednesdays.
They're allowed, they're just discouraged.
Oh, we had a track meet on Wednesday one time. It was-
Angry about that.
Yeah, because half the people didn't show up, because
October
they
8th,
had church stuff.
Austin meet.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys, okay, I figured Owatonna was running with you, they're not, you guys are on different spots, I won't see you guys then. Okay, the rest of the time is yours, I'm here to answer questions on your behalf. I'll make sure that the answer keys are posted online, I think I posted them last night, but I'll check to make sure again.
I don't remember.
Should we put a special hidden word in here for those who aren't here today?
Yeah, phalanges.
What's that?
Phalanges are the bones.
Phalanges. Phalanges is the secret word. If you can send it to me in an email or,
I like phalanges.
yep, phalanges. That is the secret word of the day. And if you do so, you can have a one of my hostess treats. So they're hostess treats.
Dang, I should have been gone today.
I should have. It's